Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 TS Hub. It's only been a little while since we left you after the podium tier decided their teams and teammates for Season 11. And now it's time for the Pinnacle boys to decide their teams and their teammates for this very much anticipated Season 11, which starts next Friday in Austria. I've brought alongside me Jamie, who heads up teams. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Hello, guys, again.
So basically, Jamie's been working hard over the last week with the team side of things. As you know, you all applied for contracts, which was new for this season. And Jamie, perhaps you can just talk a little bit about how that went.
Yeah, again, it went really well in this tier. The only problem is, I was struggling at the end with the Salva seat. I was just begging people to apply for the Salva seat, but apart from that, it went really well. Like the top seats there went really quickly, and there's a few drivers got rejected for the middle seats, but I had a little bit switcheroo with some of the drivers, and I think I've got it. I think I'm quite happy the way it's set out now.
Good stuff. So I guess it's time to run through. We've got quite a few teams who have decided, 7 of them who have decided pre-contractual agreements with another driver in their tier. So I'll run through them, Jamie, and then perhaps you can talk a little bit about the top the 10 drivers that were assigned and why they were assigned. So Stifler, he's in the Ferrari. And he has decided to sign with him Dweller, so they'll be teaming up. That's going to be a really hot team for Season 11. They definitely are going to have a championship run. Of course, Dweller won the championship from the podium tier last season. Lawrence in the Force India, he has teamed up with Cloudy Balloons. Now, Jamie, these two had a bit of on-track controversy in Season 10 in the Pinnacle tier, so it looks like they've put it past them, and they're going to give it a good run for their money this
Yeah,
season.
I remember that well. It was round USA. We were taken to the stewards and we decided no further action in the end, but could have we could have got a penalty, but decided to lean on caution between them two. But it's good to see them made up, and that's a very interesting pairing. Obviously, Lawrence, they both showed decent pace last season, and maybe they could contend for the constructors' title.
Yeah, definitely. So next up, you've got Cobblers in the McLaren Honda. He has decided to sign with Tom, who is called Wuma, on your list there. So they will be racing together for Season 11. Wuma did, I think, 1 or 2 races in Season 10 before he had to go. But he is now back with us for Season 11. Sam, of course, he's in the Mercedes this time around, so he's done well to get that seat. And he's brought his good friend Matt with him along, so that'll be an interesting just to see how they get on, because they're very evenly matched from what I remember the last couple seasons, Jamie. And looks like they're
Yeah,
going to have a good inter-team fight.
yeah, they're a great battle around Abu Dhabi, I believe, even though Sam was quite unhappy at the way that ended. And obviously, Sam, my former teammate, and it's good now he's finally got a teammate that's sort of on his pace level, because I think when I was his teammate, I was letting the team down a little bit.
Well, we're just going to briefly interrupt and give Ols 2 minutes to pick his teammate. So 120 seconds starting from now, Ols, you have to pick from the list below. If not, then of course we will move on to the next. But the Bookster, he's teaming up with, this is the world's worst kept secret, with Kev in the Red Bull.
Oh yeah.
So there's been some teaser videos and pictures on Twitter already about this, so fantastic to see them teaming up. And if I remember correctly, Kev hasn't finished ahead of the Bookster at all last season,
Believe not. I
and
believe not.
I think that was the Bookster's target for the remaining race.
Might have, I
But
think it might have been Bahrain, but because Brooks got a penalty. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think so.
Well, that'll be an
Mm.
interesting lineup, and it'll be strong for sure. You got Gaza, who's moved into the Renault, so he likes those Renault power cars, and he has taken along with him Tejwa, so both of them will be teaming up in the Renault. Next, you've got Learning the Wheel, who obviously has changed his name, so Alex in the Williams. He has signed Matt Your Daddy, of course, moved up from the podium tier as well, and they'll be racing in the the ever so successful Williams at F1 TS Hub, and of course defending constructors champions, as you mentioned on the last stream. So some exciting lineups, Jamie, and starting with Stifler and heading down to the top 10. Just talk us a little bit about why each driver got signed over their rivals.
Well, Stifler last season the podium tier, he came in mid-season and he impressed with his consistency, and he got 3 podiums, which was enough for him to meet the criteria at Ferrari, and Ferrari are very happy to have this driver on board, I believe. Lawrence in the Force India, again, he came in the Pinnacle tier late on last season, and he was sort of around the back end of the points, and I think this tier, with the way it's formulated, he'll be a really strong driver this season. And Force India, they've got a great chance for the wins and podiums of this driver. All's in the Haas. He's wanted to stay with his same team, and Haas are delighted to have him. Obviously, last season, the podium tier, he improved massively towards the back end last season and was a real front runner, and he got a podium in Mexico. Cobblers in the McLaren, he raced last season. The biggest issue with Cobblers was his connection. It was dreadful. He kept disconnecting races. I remember I was his teammate last season. I don't think he scored a point when he moved down the podium tier because he kept disconnecting. Hopefully, he has better luck this season. Sam in the Mercedes, he's a very experienced driver now. He had 1 podium in Singapore season 8, and he's a Field Driver Day Awards, which made him eligible for Mercedes seat, and he got it, and he is delighted to get this seat. Bugster at Red Bull, again, he applied for Ferrari and Red Bull, but I decided to stick him in the Red Bull because he seemed keen to take the Red Bull seat, and he is a very consistent driver. Last season, the podium tier, he got, I think it was 12 podiums in a row. Can't remember.
Yeah,
And a
I
few
think
race
that's
wins.
right. Yeah.
And if he had a better start to last season, he could have won the title. I think he only had like 2 points after 5 races. So I think he's a strong contender this season. In the Renault, we have Gazzaman. Again, a very experienced driver and a very clean and consistent driver. His pace improved massively towards the back end of last season, and his qualifying night time was very impressive. It was around the mid-pack of his tier, and he could be a consistent point scorer this season. Sauber, D90. Now, D90, when he started in this league, he was a very, 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 very messy driver, made lots of mistakes, got involved in incidents, but towards the back end last season, he cleaned his act up, and he's got the pace to surprise a few people this season in that Sauber. In Toro Rosso, we got Nick, a rookie. I don't really know much about him. He applied Toro Rosso seat, he got it. Hopefully, he can impress this season. And in Williams, you've got Alex. Quite surprising he's dropped down this tier. I think he's the favourite for the title this season. He won 2 races last season in the Pinnacle tier, and he has to be the big favourite this season.
Yeah, definitely is. It's looking close, and I think this entire tier, Jamie, was separated by 1.1 seconds on qualifying night. So it just shows you imagine from first to 20th being separated by 1.1 seconds. It'd be amazing spectacle to see. So he moved on from Ols, and D90 now has about a minute left to pick his teammate, and if he doesn't do so, Nick gets the choice. So Nick, newcomer to the league, will get to pick in the Toro Rosso who he'll want to be his teammate for season 11. So we'll just give D90 a little bit longer. But yeah, this tier is a lot of moved up, I think, Jamie, from the podium tier to this Pinnacle tier.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I raced a lot of these drivers last season, and the improvement the podium tier drivers made last season was incredible. When I dropped down to the podium tier last season, I was confident I'd get wins and podiums to maybe fight for the title. But the way drivers like Bugster, Kev improved, it made it almost impossible, and that sort of forced me into retirement, I guess. Yeah.
That's it. So you can join me and Jono at the golf course this summer anyway. But it's at least they've been keeping you busy with the team contracts, and of course, if these drivers aren't fulfilling their expectations, they'll be getting a gentle reminder during the season, I'm sure.
Yeah, nice letter in the post, I guess. Yeah.
Good stuff. Were there many drivers from this tier that you had to decline seats to?
Yeah, there was. I tell you what, the Williams seat was really popular. I think I got 7 applicants for that seat. So I just went on the basis of the guy with the best stats, and that was Alex with his 2 wins from last season.
Yeah,
And
fantastic. Williams has a lot
I
of.
had
Carry on, carry on.
no, go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say Williams are the most successful team in
Yeah,
terms of construct championships, in terms of wins, podiums, I believe, in F1 TS Hub. So it's no surprise that a lot of drivers want to drive for them.
yeah. I mean, quite a few people were surprised that Williams were in the middle group. I think a few people thought they'd be in the top group, but I just thought people would want to drive for the 3 main teams F1 now. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So Nick has got about a minute left to pick his team, and if he doesn't do so, we're going to have the pleasure, Jamie, of deciding who's going to go where. And before we came on air, we briefly discussed this because, of course, Martin had to drop out at the last minute yesterday. So we won't get a replacement in this tier until after the first race of the season. So whoever gets the TBA to be announced will, of course, race on their own in the first race of the season in Austria next week. But then they will have a replacement driver in from next week.
Don't worry, I'm used to having no teammate from last season.
You never know. Jamie might come out of retirement to
No,
to.
I'll get thrown by these guys.
Alrighty, so I think we're going to go ahead and decide, Jamie. So what are you thinking? Possibly, well, Lemaine, he's definitely going to be a strong rival in this tier.
Yeah, obviously he was a contender last season in the podium tier, and I think a good pairing between him and Alls in a Haas. Lemaine used to drive a Haas on F1 2016, and I think that'll be a really good pairing.
Alright, so there we have it. We're going to confirm that one now. Haas is going to go to Lemaine. And then Ollie, I think perhaps we should pair him up with Nick, because both rookies to this tier and to the league, perhaps they can help each other out and practice. And I think that'll be the best. And D90, of course, we will then find a teammate for him after the first race of the season. So, Jamie, I'll quickly just run through the list. We have Stifler, who is in the Ferrari, along with Dweller. That's going to be a seriously strong lineup. In the Force India, we spoke about this. Cloudy Balloons and Lawrence, enemies turn friends. In the Haas, we have Oles and Lemaine, another good lineup, strong lineup heading into Season 11. In the McLaren, we have Wuma and Cobblers. In the Mercedes, Sam very happy in that Silver Arrow seat, along with Matt. In the Red Bull, Bugster and Kev, both premium members, and you have to say they're going to be gunning for that constructor's title, if not both titles. Gaza in the Renault, and he's brought Tejra along with him, so in a very experienced, not just F1 TS Hub, but very experienced in racing, those two, so lots to look forward to with an inter-team battle there. D90, of course, the only driver in the Sauber, but he will be given a teammate, as we mentioned, after the first race in Austria. Nick, of course, new to the league, signed for Toro Rosso, and we've paired him up with Ollie, who's going to join him as their first race at F1 TS Hub next week.
They're the only 2 rookies in this tier, so that'll be interesting. 2 rookies together.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be who comes out on top for sure. And then you've got, last but not least, Alex in the Williams. And he has signed up with him, Matt Your Daddy. So again, Matt Your Daddy showed some interesting pace last season, Jamie, but just wasn't able to convert it into.
Needs to keep it on the road a bit more often. Yeah, he got a podium. Did you get podium Brazil? I think.
Yeah, podium Brazil, and I think he was leading in Baku for the majority of the race as well. Although that was a bit of a crazy one.
Front row, I think, that race as well. I think. Yeah.
So there you have it. That is our Pinnacle tier. They will race at 8 p.m. every Friday. 12 races to crown a Constructors Champion and a Drivers Champion. And looking forward to seeing how that one plays out.
Matt got a podium in China as well, I remembered. Yeah.
So there you have it. Matt with the double podium. He will look to take the fight to Alex in the Williams. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your applications in your contracts. We hope you enjoyed team and teammate selection this year at F1 TS Hub. And from myself, Jamie, the team at F1 TS Hub, we wish you the best of luck this season. Put on a great show for us, as we know you will. And keep it clean, keep it fair, and race the dream, live the dream. We'll be back at 9, Jamie, to do the Prestige tier.